Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we are going to talk about some very interesting stuff. First of all, we are going to talk about the biggest money printing party in history that could lead to the biggest bull run that we've ever seen. Not maybe in terms of the exact multiples, but in terms of the number in returns that we're going to have. But we're going to discuss this. And also, we have to talk about the supposedly dead Veve app that is just selling and minting a big ton of collectibles. But all of that right after the intro. So, good morning, every one of you. We have Energy in the house. Good morning, sir. Roman Frey, good morning, guys. Yes, good morning to you as well. We have Chris Thomas. Hey, good to see you. Good morning, chefs. How are you doing, man? And we have Nico. Hey. Mark D, it's not Binance, it's Binance. Yeah, absolutely. I think people just from last week I saw people were missing Janet Yellen. But the problem is that we cannot have Janet Yellen shilling bags and commenting when the market is red. But unfortunately, the market was pretty green, at least when I looked yesterday. So, yeah, Yellen is back for now. We will see. Daniel Morosi is here and says, Guten Morgen. Yeah, good morning to you as well. And Technostro is shilling Hemule. Hemule is, I think, it's Vitalik Buterin's cat, right? So that is another meme coin which has absolutely no utility and probably is attracting a very big ton of degenerates. But that is fine. Go ahead. Because if you get rich with it, who cares if it has utility, right? Anyways, let's look at crypto together and start out with Bitcoin. Actually, Yellen was a little bit too early because we are slightly red on the week still. But to be honest, if we go into the daily, we had a good day yesterday, and today we will see. But we're sitting at 67,000, and 67,000 suddenly seems to be a bearish number for some people. Although we are basically glued below the all-time high. So what do we have? We have a price point. Yeah, we hit our head on the all-time high, on the new all-time high, so to say, or previous, if you want. And we are kind of going sideways. We corrected 17% all in all, but now we're more or less going sideways. And if we see where this price action wise is, it's just under the previous all-time high. So on a daily basis, not even on a weekly basis and so on, we did not break this previous all-time high, so we're not there yet. And the longer this takes, here flip-flopping on the same price level, we will see how this week reacts, but the longer this takes, the more we could be aligning with the previous cycles, and this pre-run based of ETFs could fall a little bit more in line with what we had. But the most important thing here, obviously, we are only 26 to 25 days away from the halving. Okay, depending on your time zone, and also I think for now it's scheduled on the 19th of April or the 20th. We don't know yet. Hey, Walrus King, what is going on? So that is pretty good, right? But what will make this fly? Because, I mean, let's look at our monthly. So, give me a second. Let's look at our monthly. Let's take the lines out. What makes this fly? Because if we look at our monthly, we see that there's after passing this all-time high, there's still something coming, right? After passing this, from here, you see here, there were all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 to 6 green bars coming to hit our all-time high. And when we passed it here, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bars. So I would say there is a lot of stuff still coming ahead of us once we break this all-time high, confirmed at least on a weekly, but also here on a monthly basis, right? We have a green month, but we cannot breach it. Maybe we get a red month in between, like we did here. Who knows? After the halving. But what does make this fly? And that is this. This is why Yellen is for sure the right person to introduce us into the stream. Because it says here just in, US President Biden signs 1.2 trillion funding package averting government shutdown. So apparently the US is now every 4 months or every 6 months in front of a government shutdown. And a 1.2 trillion funding package is, let's print $1.2 trillion and pump it into the market. Because I don't even know what they're funding, but it also doesn't matter unless it's outside of the US. But averting a government shutdown means it's inside the US. So they are going to spend this into the economy, which will increase the liquidity. And we saw that crypto reacts most heavily, not to the halving, not to degens, not to institutions, but to global liquidity. So global liquidity is really the driver here. And by the way, make sure to smash up the like button if you enjoy these almost daily updates. That would be interesting. So that you can help me pump this stream out a little bit to us. Crazy Dance says, hey PH, congrats to legal cannabis in Germany hitting the dab, right? Dab rig all day to celebrate for you all. Hey, to be honest, it's fine, right? Every piece of freedom is fine. Every piece of freedom is good. However, I'm not a smoker, so I don't care personally, but I'm happy for everyone who cares. Freedom is the word here. Yeah, so everyone can smoke their broccolis as they want. Anyways, here we go. So, the world debt in trillions is at the record high, and it is, to be fair, every now and then on a record high, right? That's not the point. But the point is that the world debt, and you cannot see it because it's partially behind the chat, but there you see it. What does that mean? That means that basically probably the world debt is exceeding the entire producing power of the world population by multiples, by many multiples, right? So no one can pay that back, but you can print it back. Okay, so what is that? That is 225 trillion US dollars, measured in dollars. Because if we measure that in Argentinian pesos or so, the scale is going wide. Okay, so let's stick to the dollars. But that's also what's going to be printed most probably in this cycle. So you go and print money as a government. It doesn't matter from where. This liquidity will hit the market, because if you pay your debt back, you're paying back money, not really the debt, because the debt you're just putting into the pocket of everyone else when you print money. But you're paying it back in terms of liquidity, money, to whoever gave you that as a government that credit, which is most likely whatever kind of company, institution or whatever, which will take that money and spend it. So that money ultimately will hit the market and dilute every dollar, euro, yuan, yen, rupees. I don't know where are you? Let me know where you're tuning in from and what your currency is. But that currency gets diluted. Unless you're Switzerland, then you're fine. Or unless you are, what else is not? I don't know. The Russian ruble, I have no idea. But anyways, if you have that money in your pocket or on your bank account, that's your dilution. Yeah, okay, just so you know. But it also means that the entire world has to print $225 trillion to get out of this mess or produce that. But just look for the highest gross domestic products in the world, which is you have to have this in gross domestic product. You look for the US, you take the US, you take, what's the second place? I think China. You take US, China, Germany, Japan. And then you have the top four. You take the GDPs and then you measure this, against the 225. And you will see there's probably roughly 200 and something trillion still left over for the rest of the countries to produce, right? Okay, so not going to happen. So it needs to come out of the money printer, and we already saw that. Chinese economy wanted to stabilize the stock market. They printed hundreds of billions. Yeah. Okay. So here's another one, and this is now the proof that the multiples are coming from the global liquidity. So let me explain. Global M2 is when printed money hits the market. That is the entire amount of money in circulation. Okay, so that's the liquidity. That's the blue line. And then you have the Bitcoin year-over-year returns. So it's not the Bitcoin price, it's how many multiples you have year-over-year. Okay, so you see, when this money expands, which is the case right now, we're in the beginning of this expansion phase. You see where we are right now. Here's the dip, right? It went a little bit lower, but there you go. So it expands and crypto returns go skyrocket. And that's basically, you can say, it expands and your bear market ends. It expands and your bear market ends. That's pretty good, right? Because it's very easy to remember. If M2 expands, your bear market ends. Okay, so here's our bear market from this run, and it started expanding again, and the bull market ended. We had a little bit of a cut down here, but we are still in the uptrend, and these cut downs are, you see here, they are normal. They are normal in this uptrend, right? And that's where we have a little bit of a correction. But we will be expanding a ton over the year now to come. The first banks are already cutting rates. The US does not increase rates, which we see here. And Fed's Bostic says he now anticipates only one rate cut this year, which means we are going to expand, but not that much in the US. However, you saw also it's election year, you saw the $1.2 trillion package. We will see, because if something in the economy breaks, they are going to cut the rates to save the election, to save the next years. However, money printer going on or not, we could still have this big pump out of something else. And that is, if Bitcoin goes above $70,000, over 5.1 billion in shorts will be liquidated, which is one of the bigger liquidations that we would be seeing. If that happens, that could lead to a short squeeze that could bring us very quickly somewhere to 80 to 85,000. Okay. Yeah, that is it. I'm going to give a little bit of a rundown here, because I really want to hammer this point home that we are not in any form of top situation, but instead in the beginning of a liquidity expansion. Also here, the 2-month expansion, we have this is from TechDev, and we have basically the Bollinger Bands here around the Bitcoin price on a 2-monthly chart, and that reflected in a signal. And every time that these are very tight, we get the green dot signal ready to explode. Every time that Bollinger Bands are tightening, after that there is an explosive move. So what you're seeing is that we just have hit a very tight range, plus being at the upper band, ready for a move like this, a move like this, a move like this. Okay, so yeah, I think we are on the cusp, and if we're looking at the 2-month chart, at the cusp means we can still hover around for 3 weeks or more, but I think a big move is very close, right? Yeah, and that together with the halving being in 3 weeks or so, yeah, maybe 4 weeks, that could also be a big deal, right? So, talking about altcoins also a little bit, just to make this clear, the same accounts for altcoins. Everything that I just talked about accounts for altcoins, and altcoins are forming the same pattern as they did in all the previous runs, and they've already broke out. So I think we are really at the time where altcoins and Ethereum needs to catch up a little bit, but that's it. One more thing, and I think this is very interesting to know for many people, especially in the EU. So there are articles like this: anonymous crypto wallets now illegal in the EU. Payments, unhosted self-custody, and crypto wallets are now illegal. That is not true. That is not true. But someone started with these articles, and we're living in a time where just because it's a news headline, it's the truth. Yeah. So everyone believes it, then they repeat it, then they talk about it at work and so on, and suddenly something that is not the case becomes true. So this Patrick Hansen did it pretty well, and he is director EU strategy and policy at Circle, so he knows a little bit of what he's talking about. And he's saying, I will have more to say on this in the next few days, and I'm not a fan of the anti-money laundering whatever, but don't believe the FUD that is being shared. Self-custody wallets are not banned. Payments to from self-custody wallets are not banned. P2P transfers are explicitly excluded from AMLR, as are self-custody software and hardware wallets. However, paying with crypto, for example, to merchants with a non-KYC self-custody wallet will be more difficult or banned, depending on the merchant's setup. This change, as well as the lower thresholds for anonymous cash payments, has unfortunately been agreed months ago. Not much time now, we'll share more soon. So, this is a proposal. So we will see, right? And no, these are not illegal, so you can for now chill, but we need to be smart, right? I mean, we have before talked quickly seen in the chat, hey, some things change because people want it. We have more freedom in one area, right? So you guys have voting rights, you guys have your own minds, you guys have, yeah, you can see who is necessary to do what you want, right? So that's basically it. Crazy Dan asks, hey PH, have you heard about Base? It was up 4,000 in a month. It's a layer 2 on ETH. No, I have not heard about that, but it's also very difficult to keep track of all these projects. Now, here's Here's what happens to like real scammers if it loads. Twitter apparently has a problem on if you go back on a video. So let me just see it. So because here is this video, it's Do Kwon. Look at Do Kwon. Do Kwon needs very heavy protection. Here we see him. He's a bag holder, by the way. Did you see that? He's a bag holder as well now. That's what's happening if you if you if you scam in that way. Yeah. I just thought that was interesting, and a little bit of justice for people that lost money. The last indicator here for me to outline is that MVRV Z-score, indicating where we are in the cycle. And this one was always very accurate. You see it down here. We have increased. It looks very much like the other cycles, and you see that it looks basically like our Bitcoin price, the MVRVZ score, right? So it's the market value to realized value, and this one, if it's not in the 6 range, I think, or closer to the 6 range, we don't really have to talk about a Bitcoin top. We see how it looks. We see how it will look in the end, like this, like this, like this. And every time, except the last cycle, by the way, we hit it like a 10, yeah, or close to a 10. But last cycle we didn't. So we should take this as a basis for our analysis if we are close or not. Anyways. Today I want to go directly into Ecomi and Veve, also because of the time. So let's talk about this. I triggered a lot of people yesterday with this comment. So let me see here. So I said, dead app without users sells 15,000 editions, $10 a pop. I'm looking forward to the debates on Twitter. And I didn't say, like, this is the coolest thing. I just said, I'm looking forward to the debates. But, oh boy. Okay, so OG Vault is always a little bit more reasonable here, obviously. And just said he was surprised that it sold out. And yes, I was as well. So I said, obviously there's people that bought 20, but it's also me who didn't buy any. So I'm an active user that buys comics, but I didn't buy a Stormtrooper. Why? Because I don't want to build a Stormtrooper army. I don't want to build this army, but other people want. So why would I get one Stormtrooper, for example, if I cannot build, or if I don't want to build an army? Why should I take it from someone else who wants it? Okay, so I'd rather buy a comic today than spending 10 gems on a Stormtrooper. I'd rather buy a comic on stream, yeah, without leaking my information, obviously. Yeah, sorry about that. That is that. That's obviously trolling. But we have a lot of comments here. Veve has never had an issue selling new products. The issue is the secondary market. MCP should be bringing the secondary values up, but it's doing the opposite. There is just not enough new users or enough liquidity to prop up the secondary. Nonetheless, Veve is the king of selling the new shiny product, which is true. They are good at that. Veve is dead at Paul Barron says Sleepin' Comics. That's also pretty funny. Yeah, because 1K users got like 10,000 each. The math is pretty bad on that because it sold out with 15,000 editions. So they have to have 15 each, right? But actually we will see in the statistics that the average is 7. Okay, which makes sense because literally this job is meant for people to build an army. So it makes sense that people buy more than one, but you never know. Watch at your vault value dropping each month and tell me how amazing this app is for Randy and Dr. Profit. They must have made a lot of money from this app. Yeah, but that's also not what I said. Okay. We're hitting new all-time lows, fam. Vault and users. What are we celebrating exactly? No one talked about celebration. Company revenue, lol. Most of you max out your buys between 10 and 15, added up. There was no maximum. People got 20 even. I cannot find the part where someone said something about celebrating. So here you go, right? So this is the problem. In my opinion, this is the problem. There is one side of the people in the Veve fam that whenever you highlight something positive, they are already on edge to punch you in the face. Instead of just acknowledging that with everything that is shitty and that is not right at the moment and all the narrative not being on Veve, Veve is able to sell out 15,000 at a $10 price point, which is 150,000 in just 15 minutes, which is good because basically this satisfies licensors and other licensors want to be on Veve. Okay. Secondly, you gave the community, like Veve proved with this drop that they gave the community something that the community wanted. You cannot blame the community for buying 20. Like it's almost as if everything that Veve does is then bad. Like, for example, I get that people are like, okay, Veve launches a comic drop at 10,000. No one understands why it is at 10,000 editions. It only sells 3K. And they're making fun of it, that it doesn't sell out. Now Veve hosts something with 15,000 editions. Everyone says it won't sell out. People are buying it like crazy. It's also not right, okay? I feel that there is a small group or maybe a bigger group of people that has built the counterpart of the absolute delusional and blind moon boys, which I also don't really favor or like, right? I don't like this behavior of saying, hey, oh, this is great for Veve when it's actually bad. But here we have now, oh, this is bad for Veve when it's actually good. So, yeah. That's basically the point that I wanted to make, right? That said, I quickly want to drop in an announcement here. So on the 27th, which is Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. CT, I will bring a written announcement and so on. I will repeat it tomorrow. We'll go live with Sleepin' Comics and Swaggle House to talk Veve Comics, the new Veve Comics platform, what the new minting means, what happens if they are bringing facsimiles on the Veve Comics platform, will it devalue grails, stuff like that, right? So we are going to discuss around all of that. It's going to be very interesting. It's mainly about comics, and I'm very happy that Swaggle House agreed to try to make it possible to have this talk. So we're going to smash up the like button right now if you like this type of conversations and bringing some guests here to the table to discuss the most pressing topics on Veve. And yeah, Chago Solis is here. Hey, what's up? Wild says woke nonsense. Yep. I don't know what that was referring to. But yep. Okay, so what we see is sometimes we have a no drop day, or we have something like this, and then we have the statistics, and we see here buyers, sellers, minters, everything is low on a no drop day. Okay. Here are the stats for the 23rd. So, and that is the stormtroopers, right? I don't know if this is actually true. Was stormtroopers yesterday or 2 days ago? But we have like numbers rebound a little but stay low. 351 minters mint an average of 7 NFTs per day. So we have 351. So actually this is not the Stormtrooper, I think. Stormtrooper was yesterday. So gross revenue 9 million, 60 million gem in sorry, not 9 million, 9,000. 60,000 gems purchased. New active wallets 20. Active wallets above 2,000 again. 2,500 mints, and that's mostly because like people are minting comics left and right. Mark D says, that's good to be an incredible conversation. I love it. Yeah, awesome. Talk about Paxos Unitas. I have no idea what that is. And right now is not the time to look into it. There was no drop. What were they minting? Stuff in the store and Veve comics. Yeah. Okay, so this is no drop day. Let's see if he has the stats on the Stormtroopers. Oh yeah, there we go. So let's see. Veve Stormtrooper sells out and is above retail. By the way, follow Living Aloha here. I think these stats are pretty good. And I don't know if they are like 100% exact, but they seem to be pretty accurate. But here we go. Drop price $10. Total mints 15,000. 180 withheld. Public is 15151. They like the number game. Gross revenue $151,510. Not too shabby. Obviously, that's not money that Veve just gets. You have to deduct. The licensor gets a big chunk. They have to pay taxes on it. Yada, 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 right? But, let's see. Do we have any stats more than that? New wallets and so on for the day? I don't think so. Maybe we have to see that then afterwards. Oh, by the way, he posted said Apple Macs have a fatal flaw that lets hackers steal your crypto and there's no fix. RIP. So, okay. That is not good, yeah? But I'm not going to dive too deep into that one. So what we see is, despite the app being dead, we have Lomond Mick here, for example, first to hit 100 animated Stormtroopers. Okay, so this guy just bought them at probably a price point around the $10. So that's $1,000 worth of Stormtrooper army. Yeah, that's not bad, right? Then also we have Veve Fox. Let's get a little bit more into the statistics even. We have Veve Fox here. Quick breakdown of Veve wallets. And by the way, also follow her on Twitter. Yeah, follow her on Twitter, follow her on YouTube. She brings some statistical videos. Quick breakdown of Veve wallets that haven't been active. Now the Veve wallets that haven't been active since the 1st of January 2023 and hold at least one item. That's 590,000 wallets holding a total of 2.5 million tokens. 1.8 thousand wallets with more than 100 tokens. 3 wallets with more than 1,000 tokens. Detailed breakdown of collectible and comics coming soon. This is interesting because this means these folks are probably more than 400 days inactive. And you see here, probably a lot of these is these bot wallets, right, that they banned. Probably all of these with 1 to 10 are mostly bot wallets, probably. One of those wallets is my mother with 1 comic, to be honest. But most of them is probably bot wallets, right? So there you go. And these wallets are very likely not to come back on, but that also means if we're looking at the Veve Mutascan, by the way, that's Bizosh Man, but we should be able to see Veve. Let's see if we can find Veve here. Yeah, there you go. So here, what's at the time on Veve is these 9.45 million tokens. That's everything that has ever been minted on Veve, including what Veve withheld. Now, if you deduct the 2.5 million wallets that are inactive, you're actually only at 7 million tokens, and you deduct the 500, what did she say is the number? The number 590,000. 590,000. You are at you're at 66,500 active users, right? Like active users that are not that long offline. So that's the real number, probably then, of people that are on Veve. Yeah, 60,000 or so at the moment. However, there are also some long-term sleepers that just will wake up when the bear market is on. By the way, user growth with this drop, 90 new unique owners for the Stormtrooper drop, as it seems. Look at that, big jump, 90. So I don't know, this is funny because you look at statistics and you see 20, and then you look at Immuta scan and you suddenly see 90. Okay, so interesting stuff here. Let's see you guys. Yeah, I get it. Paxu and so on. I will wait for the $5 trooper. Have only 10 for now. Blaze says, isn't there TOS stating inactive wallets for 2 years can be closed? I think so. If they are not KYC'd. I think if they are not KYC'd, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong about closing dormant accounts, though. I had read that somewhere a while back. Yeah, it was in the TOS. They are basically, if you're 2 years inactive, something like that. But I don't know if they will actually do that ever, because you could come, even if it's written in the TOS, you can come into legal trouble, because either you own either you have ownership or you don't, right? You cannot have like, oh, you have ownership unless, yeah. Bobby Green says, we love you, patient toddler. Thank you, I love you as well. All of you. Smash the likes for the love likes. There you go. Anyways, the luck likes also, right? The luck button. Do we need the luck button today? I think we should try to mint something again. By the way, this guy also went crazy. Today my sell of Spider Boy made 8 people happy. Myself, the buyer, and 7 sellers from whom I purchased today. So this guy sold a Spider Boy comic that he minted for apparently a little bit of money, and he bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 secret rares. Which is good for MCP, but better even for the secret rare floors, right? So in the end, what do we see? The current liquidity right now that is in the app somehow is concentrating on what? He put up a 40 edition secret rare for sale for a high value, and it immediately sold, or very fast sold. And he bought other low edition secret rare grails, so to say, from the app. And that, what happens now? Do you think this will be different in when more money comes into the app, when the narrative switches and Veve is a little bit more popular? I don't think so. I think this is basically the symptom of what is going to happen. Okay. It would leave a bad taste in the crypto space. What would leave a bad taste? Oh yeah, I know the TOS. Yeah. Very, very likely. I mean, you saw what happened when they took back a mismint, which they shouldn't have done. When they minted accidentally, I think a Dumbo or a Dumbo poster for a 23 mint, even though that's not a public mint. We have 40 people here, so we should we should get to Veve Comics. Veve Comics. We need, my card is empty. That's good. We need to look for a Miles Morales. I'm going to chase a Miles Morales. I'm still chasing. Let's see if I can still buy it. I'm chasing this one because I want this secret rare. So we're going to add this to the card. We're going to add this to the card. And now we're not going to screw this up. Let's see first if we can buy it. We can. It seems we can. So now I'm not going to do the same mistake as last time. Now we're going to go, and I hope that the weird thing is, like, I can buy comics all day without an SID check, right? But when I do it at this hour, apparently they don't like it. Probably because they're like, shouldn't you be working right now? So we're going to buy this. We're going to buy this one of these. Wish me luck, boys. Smash the luck button right now, and smash the luck button for me. For me to not have to undergo an SID check. We're going full cam for this, just in case that it asks me to. Yep. Yeah, it wants an SID check. So there we go. So what do? We're going to the subscriber screen. So now you can look at all the cool rare hodlers and get myself out of the picture. It has to be, right? It has to be. Okay. It has to be. Where is it? Bear with me, guys. Unfortunately, it has to be. There must be another way. There must be a way where it can just say, hey, please don't ask me for this value, right? Please just don't ask me for this value. But it's safe, so we're good. So there we go. Oops. There we go. Let's get this back. Let's actually get this back here. So it's processing. You see it's processing, right? And I'll get my cam back for that. I will find a solution, guys. I will find a solution. So there we go. I just destroyed the frame, but yeah. Symbiote is sold out. That is obviously not good. Symbiote sold out, although it was not in one day. Well, I minted one, it's in the market, but I didn't sell it. So let's check out what I got. I got an uncommon. Okay, so now let's see. I already had the 77, so I just got an uncommon. Not ideal, guys. The luck button did not work this time, but we're continue trying. We're going to continue to try this out. Yeah. Anyways, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now and smash the like button. In 2 days, we're going to have this, hopefully this double stream with Sleeping Comics and with Swaggle House. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a little bit late for EU because I think 5 p.m. CT is like 1 o'clock or so, like 1 a.m. in the morning, but I will adapt to my guests, so then you can still watch it later. Other than that, thanks all for joining, and wherever you are in the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I catch you in the next video live